Hey, folks, Brian Blessing, ATS.io in Las Vegas. All right, round two NFL playoffs. Away we go. This is the Saturday night marquee game, and this will be on NBC. 8:15 Eastern is the kickoff. It turns out to be Baltimore at Buffalo. Opening number, the Bills minus 2.5, minus $1.20. That number would indicate threes will surface for a while, but there will be money on the Ravens because, look, they were favored on the road at Tennessee, and they justified that number, getting the win 20-13 over the Titans. The total on the game is 49.5. The weather forecast, 30 degrees. That's fine. Snow showers, you never know. Orchard Park right off Lake Erie in the snow belt in western New York. The weather can indeed get squirrely. Let's start with the Ravens. You know, it's amazing when you watch these football games. There are key moments. Tennessee comes right out of the gate. They're on top 10-0, and they've got Lamar Jackson on the ropes, and he scrambles on 3rd and 15 and makes a wild pass on the run, completes it, and it stopped the bleeding. Or Tennessee may have scored again, and it's a completely different game. So one play may have really turned that game around. Jackson in the game, incredible, 16 carries, 136 yards, included in there a 48-yard touchdown run. Marquise Brown had 7 catches for 109 yards. He'll be matched up, I would think, with Tre'Davious White, the all-pro corner for the Bills in this upcoming matchup. Mark Andrews had 4 catches for 41 yards. Look for Andrews to be one of the focal points of this game plan because the Bills really struggled defensively against the Colts tight ends. We'll get to that in just a second. But the story here for Baltimore, tip of the hat, they held Derrick Henry to 40 yards rushing. That was a backyard alley fight. 2013, no love lost between the two teams. Get the clinching interception, and they go right to the Titans logo. Got a little moxie, a little swagger. Does Baltimore. Now, the Bills did not play their best, and in fact were outplayed in many facets of the game, yet found a way to beat Indianapolis 27-24. The Bills were fortunate. Colts missed a chip shot field goal. Colts dropped a lot of passes. Frank Reich burned 2 timeouts that really hurt them at the end of the game, and then, went for it on 4th and 4 instead of kicking the field goal. So there were some questionable moves for the Colts. The bottom line is Josh Allen played a great football game, led the team in rushing, threw for 1, ran for 1. Diggs is incredible. They've got a wonderful rapport, the two. And John Brown's back in the lineup. Cole Beasley had a knee injury, gutted it out. Real strong outing there. They did lose Moss, the running back, to an ankle injury. And the Bills' running game, that's what scares me for them, is at some point, lack of a running game could catch up to them. I'm going to throw a name at you. I'm like a diehard Bills guy. I didn't even know this kid existed. He showed up against the Dolphins, an undrafted rookie from North Carolina, Antonio Williams. It was a blowout against the Dolphins, but it turns out it was valuable experience in that blowout. This kid, who never dresses, had 63 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against the Dolphins and really moved the pile. Watch for Antonio Williams to maybe be part of this equation. If not, it's the veteran running back T.J. Yeldon, who's much more acclimated to the passing games, a pretty good receiver out of the backfield. But Singletary gets the lion's share of the load. Maybe Williams gets some carries here. The one thing I would say about this matchup, the Bills a year ago, December, were one of the few teams that maybe had a blueprint on how to defend Lamar Jackson. And in his great season, the Ravens still won that game. It was 24-17. But Buffalo held him to 49 yards rushing. He threw 3 TDs. One was 3, one was 4 yards. One was a longer 61-yard play to the tight end, Hurst, at the time. So he'll be using the tight end in this game because the Colts, again, their tight ends decimated. Buffalo's defensive line has to do a lot better here. But I don't think you go blitzing him all over the place. You got the sneaky safeties in Poyer and Hyde, hoping you get Jackson to make mistakes. Don't go crazy. They got to generate a pass rush because they didn't against Phillip Rivers. But against Lamar Jackson, don't let him escape, which is easier said than done. But don't blitz. Make him beat you from the pocket. And I'm sure the Ravens are saying the same thing about Josh Allen. How about a prop that should be out there? Total yards over under, rushing yards from the quarterbacks in this game. That could be a pretty cool prop that the books could put up. Interesting game. The weather will impact the total. I think threes will appear. There will be professional buyback. It's a wild shootout. It ends up being Baltimore because Cleveland beats Pittsburgh, going to Western New York. What a fun game this should be. And with both of these quarterbacks, I could even see the total going up. The only thing that would hold it down is maybe the weather forecast that wind's going to kick up. Snow showers are in the forecast for the Saturday night game.